If you've been climbing for years and you think you should be better by now, this video is for you. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you must answer them with full honesty if you truly want to improve your climbing. My name is Chris and this is Road to V11. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Alright, without further ado, here's the first question. Do you train for climbing or do you climb for training? This might sound a bit confusing at first, so let me explain. I've been coaching climbing for years and I'm a very passionate climber myself. One thing I can't help but notice is how much the climbing scene has leveled up. People are incredibly strong nowadays. This is largely thanks to 3 things: new or better training methods, a lot of information online, and entire companies based around climbing performance. However, and this is important, I often see how climbers struggle to transfer that strength into actual climbing, especially rock climbing. Off-the-wall training does help. It improves your metrics and makes you more eligible if you wish to climb harder. But I keep seeing people stuck in the gym doing max hangs, loading pin work, putting in a lot of effort but barely climbing. What this kind of training does is to up your expectations. You start thinking, I've been doing this, so now I should be ready to climb that. This is nonsense. You can't get better at climbing without prioritizing climbing itself. If you want to improve, you need to be climbing more. Bouldering, sport climbing, indoors, outdoors, whatever. Climbing must be the foundation of your training. 2. How important are climbing grades to you? And be honest. If I was to answer this myself, I would say fairly important. I do like to take a challenging route. I want to improve every year, and I guess I have a bit of an ego. I would be lying to you if I said otherwise. But the more I climb and meet other climbers, the more I realize that most of us try to run before we can walk. If someone stopped roping at 7A but they can't confidently lead at 6B, or if you just done your first V7 and you are rushing to take your first V8, you might be cutting corners. We've all done it, and even if this makes sense to you right now, chances are that you will fall into this trap at some point. The real issue is this: if you're always chasing the next grade, you'll be frustrated most of the time, and this is a dead-end road in climbing. Challenge yourself, but also enjoy the process of building a sustainable, solid pyramid. The stronger the base, the better rounded climber you'll be. A great place to start is by improving your on-site and flash levels. 3. How much do you climb for validation? In a time where social media is deeply embedded within climbing, making your ascents public can determine how and what you climb. If you climb to impress others, you will get stuck. You won't want to be seen following up things you think you should be able to do. I coached a climbing squad for years, and I went from basically teaching these kids how to climb to being completely outclimbed by them. There was a time where if they were around and I was climbing, I would feel the pressure to perform because I was their coach. But what I learned from the best of them, especially from the ones who made it to the national squads, is that they wouldn't care at all about falling. And we are talking about 15-year-olds here, people who are extremely self-conscious about many aspects of life. But in climbing, they learn from a very young age that practice means falling. No one, and I really mean no one, cares whether you can send the climb or not. And this might be the most accurate statement in the whole video. 4. How good are your tactics? You might be thinking, what does he mean by tactics? I basically don't see this discussed enough anywhere, hence why I'm making a point on it. Climbing tactics can determine whether you send, whether you plateau, whether you get injured, and this is just to name a few. You develop climbing tactics by gaining climbing experience, and they are far more important than most people realize. Eventually, most climbers learn how to move and train fairly well, at which point progress often comes from learning how to use what you already have more intelligently. The way you approach a boulder problem, a climbing session, or an entire climbing trip can completely change the outcome, purely based on your tactics. Planning versus rushing, specific warm-ups, listening to your body, pacing, resting, All of these could be complete game changers, and the list is never ending. I feel as though some of these would be very interesting topics for videos, so if you're curious, please let me know in the comments. 5. Do you train your mindset, or do you hope it shows up when you need it? You've probably heard Wolfgang Gullich's quote, "The brain is the most important muscle for climbing." It sounds like a cliche, but it keeps proving itself true and relevant. In climbing, confidence and a strong headspace is essential. If you never work in your mindset, you'll always be miles off what you can actually do. I've climbed with, seen, talked to incredibly strong climbers who completely freeze on the wall, not because they can't do the moves, but because they are scared. They keep going back to the gym, training harder, doing more hangboarding, lifting more weights, and yet the moment they step out of their comfort zone again, they shut down. Treat your mindset as an equal third in your training alongside technique and strength. A scared climber is already halfway off the wall. That's it for today. If you found this useful, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.